So, my girlfriend just destroyed my $300 Italian sweater. And before you guys come at me for having a $300 sweater, let me just break it down for you. I did not buy this sweater. It was a gift from my now ex-girlfriend, and I'm not wearing it because it's significant to our relationship or anything crazy like that. I'm wearing it because it's my favorite sweater. I like the way it feels, I like the way it looks, and I never would have been able to afford something like that on my own leisure. But now, my current girlfriend is losing her mind. And let me tell you why this gets so much worse. My ex just so happens to get a job with my current girlfriend. They work in the same office. And, I guess she found out through the grapevine that that's my ex. Well, the problem is, I let it slip that this sweater is actually from her because I didn't think she would be so insecure. And, well, she is. I said, I'm not throwing away the sweater. This is my casual wear during winter time, and I refuse to go to Target and buy another sweater because I like this Italian-made one, okay? Well, she's kind of losing her mind, so I'm going to give her an ultimatum, which she might not like very much. Look, I know this is going to sound shallow. I know people are going to read the title and say, it's just a sweater, man, get over it. But it's not about the sweater. Or maybe it is. I don't really even know anymore. So, I've been stewing on this for a week, and I need outside perspective because everybody in my life is either Team Tiffany or Team me, and nobody is being objective. So, some context behind this, I'm Mike, late 20s. Been with my girlfriend Tiffany for 6 months, and we met at this cafe near my apartment where she works part-time while doing graphic design freelance. She's funny, creative, and has a whole bohemian vibe that I was into. Things moved kind of fast, but in a very good way, you know? We clicked. She's been single for maybe 3 months when we met, coming out of a pretty messy breakup with her ex-fiancé Sean. They were together for like 5 years, and he apparently got cold feet right before the wedding. The whole thing imploded. Now, here's where it gets complicated. I have an ex. Well, not exactly an ex, more like an ex-friends with benefit situation. It got messy. Her name is Megan. We were friends at first and just casually started dating for about a year. And then I caught feelings and told her, well, and she didn't feel the same way. It was awkward and painful, and we basically stopped talking. That was maybe 2 years ago, and I've seen her maybe twice since then at a mutual friend's place. Exchanged pleasantries, you know, kept it brief. It sucked losing her as a friend more than losing the physical stuff, honestly. So fast forward to about 2 months ago, Tiffany mentions that she started a new contract gig at this marketing firm downtown. Large company, better pay, she's excited. A few weeks in, she's telling me about her coworkers, and she mentions this woman, Megan, who apparently runs the creative team. And I'm half listening until she describes her, and I realize, oh crap, it's that Megan. Same company, same department. I mean, come on, what are the odds? I didn't say anything at first because, like, what's the point? It's been 2 years, and Megan and I are not in each other's lives. It's fine. Except Tiffany's company has his quarterly mixer thing, and she invites me. And of course, Megan's there. We have maybe 3-minute conversation, and it's polite, surface level. Hey, how you been? Oh, you're with Tiffany. That's great. Yeah, works great. Nice seeing you. And that's it. Tiffany was in the bathroom when it happened, so they didn't even meet that night. But I told Tiffany afterwards, because I'm not an idiot, and I know if she found out some other way it would look sketchy, I say, hey, remember Megan? I've mentioned before. Well, we talked briefly tonight, and we used to, you know, casually be friends while I was back in time, but it was ancient history. Just wanted you to know. Tiffany was really cool about it, or seemed to be. She asked a few questions like how long ago, serious, are we still in contact, and I answered honestly. She said it was fine, she appreciated me telling her. But then she actually met Megan a few days later. Came home and mentioned that Megan was really pretty and super confident, and no wonder you liked her. I could hear something in her voice, but I just brushed it off. The questions started coming more frequent. So, did you guys go out, or was it just, you know, casual? Did you bring her to your apartment? What kind of stuff did you do together? And then she fixated on the sweater. Okay, so let me explain about this sweater. It's this really nice striped wool sweater, Italian brand, navy and gray stripes, and it fits perfect. I love it. It's my go-to for dates, casual work stuff, and anytime I want to look put together without being too formal. I've had it for 3 years and I take care of it, hand wash it, lay it flat to dry, the whole thing. It costs like $300, which I know is insane for a sweater, but it was a gift. I would never have bought it for myself. Megan gave it to me for my birthday, back when we were still in the, friend phase. She knew that I've been eyeing it and surprised me with it, and at the time I thought it meant something like, hey, you don't just drop $300 on someone you're casually just seeing, right? Turns out you do, if you're just a generous person, and I'm an idiot who reads into things too much. But anyways, the sweater. Tiffany noticed me wearing it one day and asked where the heck I got it. I said, it's just a gift. She asked from who? I hesitated, which was so stupid, and then I said it was from Megan. I could see her face change. Yeah, she didn't say anything right away, but the vibe was different. Over the next few weeks, every time I wore the sweater, Tiffany would make some comments like, oh, you're wearing the Megan sweater. That sweater again, huh? Must be nice having expensive gifts from your ex. I tried to laugh it off and told her it's just a sweater, and I wore it because it looked good. Not because of who gave it to me, and she dropped it, but hey, I could tell that she was still bothered. Then, about 3 weeks ago, she straight up asked me not to wear it anymore. Said it made her feel uncomfortable knowing it was from Megan, especially now that they work together. Well, I said, that sounds kind of extreme. It's just clothing. At this point, she gets real quiet and said, never mind, forget about it. I felt bad, so I didn't wear it for a while. Well, last weekend, we spent Saturday together. Things were great, normal, watching a movie, ordered Thai food. Fell asleep on the couch together. But Sunday morning, she had to leave early, said that she had a brunch planned with her friend Allie. So I walked her out and she kissed me goodbye and everything seemed hunky-dory. Sunday afternoon, I'm doing laundry. I pull my clothing out of the hamper and the sweater is in there, which is weird because I had not worn it in 2 weeks. I pull it out, and I immediately notice something is wrong. The entire armpit seam on the right side is ripped open. Not like a normal seam failure, it stretched and tore like someone grabbed the sleeve and yanked it as hard as they could. The fabric around it was distorted. This thing is destroyed. I just stood there holding it, trying to figure out what happened. Did I somehow damage it and forget? Did the dirty cleaner mess it up last time? But it's been hanging in my closet for weeks. And then it hits me. Why is it in my laundry hamper when I haven't worn it? So I text Tiffany immediately. I say, did you do something to my sweater? She responds like an hour later, what are you talking about? The striped sweater, it's ripped. Did you do this? Are you seriously accusing me of destroying your clothes? That's insane. So I call her up. She answers, already very defensive when she does, and I describe the damage, and she immediately said maybe it got caught in the washing machine. I said, I didn't wash it. I haven't. It's been in my closet. She said maybe it was already damaged and I didn't notice, and I said there's no way I would not have noticed this. She said maybe months. Months! And then she tried to say it could be a critter like a moth. I was like, what moth is strong enough to rip a reinforced seam? Oh, and then she says, and this one I'll quote word for word, well, if the armpit seam is ripped, it was probably already weak from wear and tear. How do you know it was the armpit seam? I didn't even tell you that. You just said it was ripped. Yeah, you're right. I said it was ripped. I didn't say where. I don't know, Mike. I'm guessing. If something rips, it's probably there. This is ridiculous. I can't believe you think that I would do something like that. And then she flipped, started going off about how I'm materialistic, how I care more about a sweater than her feelings, how she's been dealing with such stress at work and I'm accusing her of crazy crap. She said that she was disappointed in me for not trusting her. She said the fact that I immediately blamed her showed that I really, really thought of her this way. I tried to stay calm. I said, look, I'm not trying to attack you, but this is really suspicious. The sweater was fine. It was perfect. Then you stay over, and now it's not. It's destroyed, and you somehow knew exactly where the damage was. Just be honest with me. I'm not a detective, but I can see through your lie. She said, I'm not going to dignify this with a response. If you want to believe I'm some psycho who destroys clothing, go ahead. And she hung up the phone like we're child. We didn't talk for 2 days. Radio silence in the air. I was going insane. Part of me felt guilty, like, yeah, did I overreact on this one? Maybe it was a moth. Maybe the washing machine really took a hold of it, but I kept coming back to the fact that she knew about the armpit seam. You just can't miss that. That she put it in the hamper, that she's been fixated on that sweater for weeks. Then Wednesday night, my phone explodes. It was 43 missed calls. I counted them one by one, and it was all from Tiffany, plus a string of voicemails I can't even count. I listened to them in its progression from, Mike, please call me back, we need to talk, to full-on crying. I'm so sorry. I messed up. Please don't leave me. I can't lose you. In one of the voicemails, she actually said, I just got so jealous seeing you and that sweater, knowing she gave it to you, and she's right there at work looking perfect, and I had a moment of insanity. So yeah, not quite an admission of guilt, but pretty darn close. I don't know what to do. Part of me is feeling vindicated because, yeah, I knew she did it, but part of me also feels like, is this the hill that I want to go on? It's a sweater. A nice sweater, yeah, but ultimately it's fabric. She clearly has some deep insecurity issue that she's working through after her breakup with Sean. But also, she lied. She gaslit me. She destroyed something she knew mattered to me, and then tried to make me feel crazy for suspecting her. And now she's love-bombing me with desperate apologies, but only after I stopped engaging. I genuinely don't know if I'm overreacting here. Am I insane? Is this breakup worthy, or do I need to chill? Anyways, guys, my time is running up here. I'll update you guys again because, yeah, this is really bothering me. Update number 1, it says, things have escalated. I honestly don't think I would be back here this fast, but here we are. After the missed call situation, Tiffany texted asking if we can meet up in person. I agreed, mostly because I wanted to see if she would actually admit what she did. We met at a coffee shop, neutral territory, felt safe, either, there or a Target. I love Target. Anyways, she came in looking rough, like she's been crying for days. Immediately started apologizing and said that she's been struggling and was not thinking clearly, and she understood why I was upset. Notice she still did not actually admit to destroying the sweater. Every time I tried to get her to just say it outright, she would deflect. I know you think I did something. I can see why you would be suspicious. I'm sorry for making you feel like you couldn't trust me. I finally said, Tiffany, I need you to be honest with me. Did you rip my sweater? She looked at her coffee cup, a long silence, then she says, I don't remember. I'm sorry. What? You don't remember destroying a $300 sweater? She said that she's been drinking wine Saturday night after I fell asleep. That was news to me, but things were foggy, and she might have done something, but she wasn't sure. This felt like the most bullcrap answer possible, like she was trying to admit guilt while maintaining plausible deniability. I told her that wasn't good enough, that even if she was drunk, destroying something of mine and then lying about it for days was a massive breach of trust. She starts crying again, saying she knew that she messed up and she's been so insecure about Megan. Seeing me in that sweater felt like I was choosing Megan over her. I was like, oh my gosh, it's a piece of clothing and I happen to love it. I wasn't choosing anyone, I just like the sweater. I was getting dressed. She said I didn't understand what it was like working with someone my boyfriend used to be with. Someone who's, quote, objectively gorgeous and successful, and everyone she's not. I tried to be sympathetic with this one. I mean, I really did. I just put my ego aside and I said, I get that insecurity sucks, but you can't destroy people's stuff when you're feeling jelly. That's not how a relationship works, honey. Well, the conversation went into circles for hours like a shark frenzy. She wanted reassurance that we're okay. Well, I said I need time to think about it, babe. And she gets upset, said I was punishing her. I said I was just trying to process everything, and we left on shaky terms, and that was Thursday. Well, Friday, my buddy Warren texts me out of nowhere and says, dude, what's going on with Tiffany? Oh boy. Turns out Tiffany had some kind of confrontation with Megan at work. I don't have the deets yet because I wasn't there, and Megan and I don't really talk, but from what Warren heard, his girlfriend works at the same company, by the way. He's my inside man. Tiffany cornered Megan in the break room and basically accused her of trying to get between us. Megan apparently had no idea what the hell she's going on about and tried to de-escalate. But Tiffany got loud enough that other people noticed. Someone from HR had to get involved, and apparently it was really messy. I felt sick to my stomach. Megan didn't do anything. She's literally just existing at her job. And now she's getting dragged into drama she didn't ask for because my girlfriend can't handle her jealousy. So I text Tiffany right away, right? And I say, hey, I heard what happened at work. You need to leave Megan alone. This has gone too far. Well, she's hysterical when she calls me. Said Megan was playing innocent, but she knew Megan wanted me back. She could, quote, just tell. I said, that sounds insane. But Megan and I had one brief conversation 2 months ago, and that's it. Tiffany said I was defending her, which proved that she was right. I told her we need to take a break, and she lost it. Said I was abandoning her, that she knew that I would go back to Megan, that this was all part of some plan. I said there's no plan, I just needed space because her behavior was scaring me. And that's when she hung up on me. Saturday morning, Tiffany's friend Allie called me and said Tiffany had drove to her parents'. Really, it was upstate and was taking time to work on herself, and Allie said Tiffany wants me to know that she was so sorry for how things have turned out. She realized that she wasn't ready to be in a relationship. Well, obviously I didn't know what to say to this middleman. Part of me was relieved. Hell, part of me was sad. I mean, I really liked Tiffany when we were first dating. But this jealousy thing spiraled so fast and so far that I could not see a way back. Allie also said, kind of awkwardly, that Tiffany admitted she destroyed the sweater. Finally, after all of that, she told Allie she did it in a moment of weakness and felt terrible but was too scared to admit it to me. So there it is. Confirmation. Not that I needed it at this point, but it was there. I also found out through Warren's girlfriend that Megan apparently felt awful about the whole situation. She sent me a message through a mutual acquaintance basically saying that she was sorry for causing such issues. Even though she didn't do anything, she gave me a sweater years ago and hoped that I was okay. So, I sent back a message saying none of this was her fault and I was sorry that she got pulled into this nonsense, and losing Megan as a friend 2 years ago absolutely sucked. Having her become collateral damage in my relationship drama sucks even more. So yeah, Tiffany and I are done, officially. She texted once from her parents' place saying that she hoped that I could forgive her someday, but she needs to heal before she could be in a relationship, and I didn't respond. I mean, come on, what is there to even say? The sweater is still destroyed, by the way. I looked into getting it repaired, but my tailor said the damage was too extensive, so it's either just gone or they can just completely replace the sleeve with a different type of material. Like, what? I know we're not in Italy, but come on, you can't fix it? I don't even know how to feel about it. Relieved, sad, angry, all the above. 6 months feels like too short of a time to get this messy, but here we are. Final update. It's been exactly 1 month, and I have some update for ya. It's been about a month, and I'm mostly posting this for closure and because people keep messaging about what the hell happened. Tiffany's still at her parents' place as far as I know. She hasn't reached out again. Mutual friend says that she's doing better, which I guess means therapy or soul searching or, I don't know, jazz music? I hope she's okay. Genuinely, I don't wish her any harm. But I also have zero desire to rekindle anything. The whole situation made me realize how quickly things can spiral when jealousy and insecurity start to take over. Like, Tiffany seemed totally normal at first, sweet, creative, fun, but she came out of a really messy breakup with Sean, and I don't think that she's processed any of it before jumping into something with me. And I probably should not have moved so fast either, knowing she was so recently out of an engagement. I also keep thinking about Megan. I found out through the grapevine that the confrontation at work was bad. Bad enough that Tiffany's contract was not renewed, which I felt conflicted about. On one hand, she brought it on herself, and on the other hand, her career taking a hit feels disproportionate, I guess that's a good word, to the crime of destroying a sweater and being jealous. But then again, she did harass a coworker, so there's that. I ran into Megan once, actually. It was another coffee shop I frequent, near both of our places, and we had a very, very brief but polite conversation. She said that she was sorry things went so south with Tiffany, said I was sorry that she got dragged into it, and she said it was not my fault. I said, well, it kinda was, and she disagreed and we left it at that. I don't think we'll ever be friends again. Too much history, too much weirdness, but at least we can be civil. That is something. Oh yeah, as for the sweater, I'm still annoyed about it, and well, yeah, people in the comments of my original post called me materialistic and shallow. Well, maybe they're right, but it wasn't really about the money, it was about the lying, the gaslighting, the jealousy spiraling into destruction. If she just said, hey, I hate the sweater, it makes me insecure, can you get rid of it? Well, I guess I probably would have gave it to Goodwill, but instead she destroyed it and then tried to make me feel crazy for noticing. That's the part that I can't get past. Not the sweater itself, but what it represented about how she dealt with conflict and insecurity. I've been trying to figure out what I learned from all of this. I guess people can seem great at first and still have unresolved crap that'll blow up your relationship. Jealousy is poison, and sometimes a ripped sweater really is the whole relationship. Not the object itself, but what someone's willing to do when they feel threatened. I'm not dating anyone right now, taking my time to just exist without drama. Maybe, eventually I'll meet somebody who doesn't destroy my clothing when they're insecure. Yeah, that's a low bar I'm shooting for, I know. Anyways, that's it. Thanks to everybody who commented on my OG post. Even the ones calling me shallow. You were probably right that I was too attached to a sweater, but you were also right that the lying was the real issue. Sometimes the internet gets it. Alright guys, today's story was intense. Long story short, don't destroy something that doesn't belong to you. Even though some of the comments were suggesting, hey dude, just get rid of the sweater if it's making so much turmoil in your life. And yes, I get that perspective too. So let's read these two comments before we continue and talk about it. The comment number 1 is completely against OP. It says, hey, honestly dude, you sound exhausting and I'm not surprised Tiffany snapped. You're parading around in a $300 sweater that your ex-girl bought for you, wearing it constantly like some kind of trophy, and you're shocked that your girlfriend of 6 months felt insecure about it. Hello, she's new. She works with this woman every single day, has to see how gorgeous and successful Megan is. That was your words, buddy. And you couldn't even be bothered to just stop wearing the darn sweater when she asked you to. That's basic respect in a relationship, and you acted like she was asking you to cut off a limb. You admit yourself that you caught feelings for Megan and she rejected you, so clearly there's unresolved emotional history there. You know, it's there whether you want to admit it or not. Tiffany was fresh out of a devastating breakup, a broken engagement, and instead of being sensitive to her very reasonable insecurities, you're clutching your pearls about a piece of clothing and writing manifestos on the internet about how she's the crazy one. Yeah. She should not have destroyed the sweater, okay, but you pushed her to that point by being completely dismissive of her feelings and refusing to compromise on something that clearly hurt her deeply. Hello, open up your eyes. Guys, that was the first comment. Now it's time to check out comment 2, which is totally on the other ballpark. It says, OP, you need to understand that what Tiffany did wasn't just about jealousy or insecurity, it was calculated. It was abusive behavior designed to punish you and assert control. Come on. She didn't accidentally damage your sweater in a moment of passion. She deliberately destroyed it, buddy, hid the evidence, and then spent days gaslighting you, which is the worst part, into thinking that you were the crazy one for even suspecting her. Oh, that's a red flag. That's textbook manipulation, and it would have only gotten worse if you stayed with her. The fact that she could not just communicate her discomfort like an adult, instead of resorting to destroying your property, shows a fundamental lack of emotional maturity and respect. And then harassing Megan at work, that's unhinged behavior that crossed so many professional and personal boundaries. Megan did literally nothing except exist and do her job, and Tiffany made her a target of workplace hostility. People saying you're materialistic for caring about a $300 sweater are completely missing the point. It's not about the money. It's about the violation of trust and the pattern of dishonesty that followed. You dodged a massive bullet, and anyone defending Tiffany's actions is essentially saying it's okay. It's okay to destroy your partner's belongings when you're feeling insecure, which is absolutely not okay under any circumstances. Guys, that leaves me with one question for you. Which comment do you agree with the most? See, I can understand how you could mix both comments together and just say, well, everyone kind of sucks here, because I can see the perspective from the girlfriend not wanting you to have the sweater, but destroying it is obviously going way too far. But maybe, I don't know, you could have sold it on eBay and got good money for it instead of donating it to Goodwill, and then used that money to buy another expensive Italian sweater. Hello, problem solved. But at the same time, I understand your perspective, OP, by basically saying, this is my sweater. I'm not going to get rid of it because you're just gaslighting me to do that. I have no feelings for Megan. This is just a sweater. So guys, let's talk about it. Drop a comment down below in my comments section and, well, we'll discuss it. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. I drop a story every single day, and, well, you might be wondering, well, what story's going to come up next? Well, you won't know unless you tune in. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day, and of course, remember one thing. It's cool to be kind. Peace.